Today we're making Me Chicken Tortellini for the perfect weeknight dinner. Hi, I'm Tara with Simply Made Eats and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a chicken tortellini with that Me sauce that's super popular. It's a creamy sauce with sun-dried tomatoes, garlic. It's super yummy. The best part about this recipe is we're gonna cook it all in one Dutch oven and it's ready in 30 minutes. The first thing we wanna do is get our chicken ready. We're gonna unwrap it from the package. I like to use about just 2 chicken breasts is totally fine for this recipe. I'm gonna cover it with some plastic wrap and just use a mallet to just pound them pretty even in thickness. And then we're just gonna season it with we have some garlic powder, oregano, salt, and pepper. So go ahead and season both sides. Then we're gonna go ahead and set our chicken aside and prep the rest of our ingredients. We're gonna cut up a shallot and garlic. We wanna mince both of these. If you don't have shallot at home, you can also just substitute out like a yellow onion. You just need a few tablespoons of this. We're also gonna chop up some sun-dried tomatoes. I use like about 1/4 of a jar. If you love tomatoes, you can definitely add more. My family's like a little bit picky about tomatoes, so I'm only doing a little bit. This is about a couple tablespoons too. Then next we have some fresh basil. This is just gonna go on the top at the end. The best way to do this is just to stack the leaves and then curl them up and then chop it. This is gonna give you a chiffonade, which is like those pretty strips. And lastly, we have our Parmesan cheese. I'm shredding about 1.5 cups of Parmesan because it's my favorite. And if you guys know me well, you know I'm using the Parmesan Reggiano. That's one of the things in the kitchen that I just don't skimp on. It's so good, nutty, flavorful, you gotta have it. For this recipe, I am using, it's like Buitoni I think. It's not like brand specific, but I like the fresh ones instead of frozen. It's just gonna give you a lot more flavor, and the frozen ones tend to get a little bit mushy, so if you can buy this kind instead, you need about 2 of these packages. These are 9 ounces, but the family pack I think is 20, and sometimes you can get it cheaper, so either way is totally fine. Start off by adding a tablespoon of olive oil into the Dutch oven at medium heat. We're gonna cook our chicken breasts for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side until that internal temperature is 165 degrees. Once it reaches that, go ahead and transfer them to a cutting board and tent with some foil. When the chicken's done cooking, if it's looking really black underneath, let it cool off a little bit and rinse that from the pot before you cook your shallot. If those bits in the pan gets like a little bit too black, it can cause bitterness and also just kind of discolor everything. Then you're gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil, and you're also gonna drop your heat to medium-low. Add in the shallot, cook for about a minute. Next, you're gonna add garlic, the sun-dried tomatoes, and tomato paste, and just stir this up really well. Then you're gonna pour in the tortellini, our chicken stock, and the heavy cream. And you wanna just stir this up really well so everything's really nice and combined. Then you're gonna cover this and cook it for 6 minutes, and you wanna stir it halfway through just to make sure those tortellini aren't sticking to the bottom. Next, when this is cooking, you're gonna cut up the chicken into strips, or you can dice it, whatever your preference is. Tent it with foil just to keep it warm. Then you're gonna stir the tortellini really well. Add in the Parmesan cheese. It's gonna melt right away. You wanna make sure you do it from a block so it melts really well. Add in your lemon juice and chicken and stir this up. And that's it. You're gonna top it with some more Parmesan and our fresh basil, and this is ready. One tip I wanted to mention is if the sauce starts to separate on you a little bit, since we don't have pasta water, you can just add a splash of cream and stir it in. That's an easy fix. This is definitely best served right away. That's it, we're all done with this Me Chicken Tortellini. I hope you guys love this recipe. It's seriously so easy. It cooks all in one pot for the best weeknight dinner. It's super comforting, really creamy, just overall delicious. I think you guys are gonna love this one. Make sure to give me a like if you like this video, and make sure to subscribe for new recipes every single week. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Tortellini is like seriously one of my favorite meals since I was a kid. It's so good. How could you go wrong with cheese-filled pasta and tomato cream sauce? You can't.